Welcome back live at 5. Our good friend Terry Duffie is with us, and most recently affiliated with a show called Alabama Upstarts.
Correct.
And it airs on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. right here on Channel 18.
Right. Make sure you make your a date with yourself to watch the show this Saturday night, and if not, put it on the DVR. I think you'll be very interested. The first show was great, and a lot of response, Ben.
I thought so too. I watched the show and I was really impressed with how it worked out. And local folks, you and Alan Clark from here in town.
That is correct.
Of DSI, and a longtime businessman in town, and so you had the opportunity to hear some folks out. You got a couple of things coming in, and one that may relate to a later interview we have. There was one that came in and pitched a program for how to keep college athletes on pace and was looking for investors in that. So tell me a little bit more about the first one and then kind of preview the second one for us.
We had a kind of a variety of people that pitched the first time. I think the second show even have four. We'll always have 4 people pitching each time. This lady had an app that she and her husband had developed. They're both engineers, and it's pretty exciting. The soccer industry in Europe is already embracing this. They're creating a little income already from that, but she wants to spread it into SEC. She's working now to, jump through all the hoops, the rules and regulations for it. That's a pretty exciting app. One of the ones that I think that will be invested in is Alan Clark saw the guy do the safety film on the schools.
Yeah.
And the state of Alabama is allocating money to and should for school safety. And what we found out that a lot of the school shootings has been literally the person intruding the schools. The doors were locked. There was one way in, one way out, and they just shot the door and walked in and shot the glass out. And this thing slows them down. It's not bulletproof, but it slows them down.
Yeah. And that's I guess the most you could ask for right now.
That's right.
In that scenario. Right. So the goal of the show is to keep people in the state of Alabama.
The goal of the show is to keep people in the state of Alabama, and what we're hoping to do with this show is to create a runway and give a giant runway for people to get on and literally take off with their dreams and their ideas. It all started with Launchpad, where this was held in downtown Birmingham when 100 people showed up. Mike Owsley of Mike Owsley Production was one of the people that was there that day, and he called me and he said, this has to happen in Alabama. I bet there's 500 people out there. And truly, we've found now over 500 people.
There may be 100 people in our viewing area alone.
Absolutely.
With an idea worth pitching.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's the way the impetus is all started. He said, I want to do it, but I want you to be one of the first judges, because he knows I like to promote. He knows that I have been an investor in different businesses. And I said, well, I want to bring a guy, Bill Dunavant, my lifelong friend from North Alabama, because we do want to make it statewide. And we brought Bill Dunavant, who is a banker, entrepreneur, broadcaster, created 3 banks. Bill came in, and he's in with it. And then Dr. Bella Petro from Birmingham, a triple board certified cosmetic surgeon. She's very interested in keeping people in Alabama. And, people leaving Alabama, this is a heartbreaker. We have all this great talent that leaves our state, and it didn't just happen, because right now one of the largest things going on in America is, Aretha Franklin's visitation in Detroit. Yeah. And that's being held at the Museum of African American History. That museum is actually the Dr. Charles H. Wright Museum. Dr. Charles H. Wright was born in Dothan, Alabama, wow. September 1918, and graduated from the Southeast High School in 1935, went off to Alabama State, and then started going to various medical schools and became a surgeon and a board-certified surgeon, GYN gynecologist, and spent his whole career in the Detroit area doing all kind of wonderful things. We don't need that happen. We need a guy like Charles Wright to stay here. We need the young entrepreneurs to stay here. And that's what we're trying to do, is afford an opportunity to give people that could invest, it would like to invest, a chance to see something unique and invest.
The same opportunities you could get in much larger places.
Absolutely.
Right here
Absolutely.
at home. Terry Duffie, great to see you.
Thank you, and thank you, Ben. Thanks to Channel 18. Thanks to Janie Henson, Ben Henson, Janie Henson, I'm sorry, Ben Stanfield, for giving us the opportunity. Watch the show. I think you'll like it. And try to guess which one I think I'm going to invest in. It's on this Saturday night.
All right, cool. Thank you, Terry. We'll be right back.